What is going on, Washington Commander fans? Welcome back to We Hail. We are watching a video today, doing a reaction to a video today. It's about pretty much, if you hear cars in the background, I'm in traffic on my way home from work. But it's basically, it's Ron talking, candidly, and people reacting to it. And I'm like, are you not, this shows how stupid the national media can be. I really can't stand them. But go ahead and watch this. Before I do, please like, share, and subscribe. I've been posting a lot more content lately. I'm trying to get back in the flow of things. Really excited for football season this year. But please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and I appreciate it. And yeah, let's go ahead and watch the video, and then we'll react to it.
How about this one from Commanders coach Ron Rivera, speaking to Albert Breer of SI.com on Sam Howell as he played in the final game of the 2022 season. I kept saying, F. Wonder what that word is. If I would have known this, I would have played him sooner. When you only have so much time to show it, it's hard. I kept thinking, God, but after that game, everything told me this kid, give him the opportunity and see what he does with it. That explains why Rivera was saying after the season, and he said it on our show at the Super Bowl, Sam is QB1. Now, there was a bit of equivocation that was always baked into that. As recently as a couple of weeks ago, there was a comment about Jacoby Brissett that made us say, was he really thinking about going with Brissett instead of Howell? But now they are all in, Miles, on Sam Howell, and I think it's smart. 3 years left on his rookie deal. There's a thought he would have been a first-round pick if he had entered the 2021 draft, waited a year and fell. Maybe a great player has fallen into their laps. There's only one way to find out. You put him on the field and you play him, like the 49ers didn't do. Of course, Trey Lance got injured last year, but you find out what the guy has. This is their chance to find out what Sam Howell has.
Here's what I struggle with that Ron Rivera quote. You know, he says, if I had known. Why didn't you know? Isn't it your job to know who the players are on your team and what they're capable of? Like, what weren't the offensive coaches saying to you about this stuff? And those offensive coaches aren't really there anymore, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. Like, what do you mean, if I had known? What were you struggling to know? Like, did you not realize what Carson Wentz was going to do when he got put back on the field and, like, lulued down his leg? Like, what? Did you not realize that Taylor Heineke was a limited player who you'd had for a few? I mean, like, what do you mean, if I had known? I don't know. That comment, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way.
But Miles, I'm going to give Rivera a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here. I think his point is, if I had known how he was going to play in a game that counts, you don't know that until you put the guy out there. You just got to put the guy out there and see what he can do. He didn't put him out there because he's trying to get to the playoffs with some combination of the Frankenstein monster of Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke. And Heineke actually had a good stretch. Remember, he was getting new Jordans after every win or something like that. I mean, They were winning games. They were doing well.
So then why put back Carson Wentz in there when Carson Wentz stinks and we all face it? I don't know.
Okay, so they're done talking, and I can't stand the guy on the right here. However, so I'm going to comment on that. So, how did he not know? He didn't know a lot of things. And the reason why he didn't know a lot of things is, one, they accumulated Carson Wentz last year before they even drafted Sam Howell. And their plan was to go all in on Carson Wentz. They traded away a couple draft picks. They gave him $28 million to go all in on Carson Wentz as the starting quarterback. So he was getting every number one starting quarterback snap, to get him acclimated to the offense, but also to get him timing with the receivers, everything. That's what is part of that. If you don't I don't understand how these national news pundits just don't understand that there's parts of the game, the nuance that you have to figure out. Every quarterback doesn't get an equal distribution. They probably should do that because it might be smarter in some ways, but it might be dumb in others. Every quarterback doesn't get an equal distribution with all three of the tiers of the offense: the first string, the second string, and the third string. You don't get equal representation there. So they never would have seen how Sam Howell would have been with the first team offense, because they were never going to give him any reps because they wanted Carson Wentz to get probably 99% and maybe 1% with Taylor Heineke. So it was never thought that Ron had, like, oh, maybe I should put this fifth rounder there. Okay, now my opinion, I've said this before and I'll say it, and it's not that I wanted something horrible to happen, but when Carson Wentz got injured, I was kind of hoping that Taylor Heineke would just get the flu or something, and they would put Sam Howell in, see that he's better than both of them combined. He's pretty much the two of them combined. He's got the arm of Carson Wentz, got the mobility of Taylor Heineke, but neither one of them have his game savvy, and they just don't have his pure actual ability to actually be a good quarterback in his calm, cool, Joe Cool kind of collectedness. I was hoping that would happen because then they'd see he's good and they're like, we can't take him out. We got momentum now. That's why Taylor Heinicke didn't get taken out when Carson Wentz came back healthy, because there was momentum. Okay? So I can't stand that. This is not like an understanding that a national news pundit just does not understand. That every rep wasn't split up evenly. It was every first team rep was thrown at Carson Wentz to give him the best chance possible to succeed with this team. Okay? Now, in my opinion, this is again my opinion. I think that it doesn't matter who our quarterback was. Whenever Scott Turner's your offensive coordinator, you're going to be handcuffed and hindered by lack of setup ability, creativity, whatever you want to call it. Okay? I'll retract part of that. Scott Turner does have creative plays. He just does not understand NFL football game momentum. He'll call a play to kill a drop. Just kill a drop. Some stupid reverse that he came up with and just kill a drop after he's already gotten like 3 first downs or something. Just kill a drive and then punt it. Like a freaking idiot. Okay? But I think Sam Howell would have been better last year than both Carson Wentz and Taylor Heinicke. That's not a false statement. Would he have thrown some interceptions? Sure. I think that one year on the bench really did help him because his footwork wasn't the greatest. But now his footwork is very good. He's very good reading the field. He doesn't put the ball in harm's way very often. I didn't see him put him in harm's way at all this preseason, which actually, this is doubling as a preseason sum up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So, to sum up this preseason. Washington won 3-0. 3-0 in the preseason. I don't care. I think we had some things that I think are promising. There's things that I'm taking out of the games that are promising that maybe everyone else isn't. But here's what I found the most promising. No matter who was in at quarterback, the ball moved. There was efficiency at the quarterback position. The offense was efficient. It did not matter who was playing, whether it was Sam Howell, whether it was Jacoby Brissett, whether it's Jake Fromm, which he actually very surprised me. I don't want him to start ever. Hope we never get in a situation where he has to start. But I will say, I gotta give props to someone who steps up and plays well. And he stepped up and played very well for us in this preseason, okay? But the offense, no matter who was out there, it looked fresh as hell. It looked good, it looked crisp, ball moved, the running lanes opened up no matter who was the offensive line, the running backs hit the holes no matter who was running the ball, they caught the ball in the backfield, all receivers made big plays. There was not a deficient part of the offense that I can think of. Or I like, well, that needs work. That's going to have to be worked on throughout the season. No. Tight end group was great. Receivers were great. From top to bottom on both sides. Great. Offensive line had some massive growth. I have less concern about the offensive line than I did 4 weeks ago. Okay, quarterback play. If something happens to Sam Howell, he gets COVID and he has to sit out a game or whatever, I'm not scared to death of putting Jacoby Brissett out there, although I do think of the 3 quarterbacks, he played the worst. Okay, all good. Defense, I don't think defense was showing a lot. If I'm being bluntly honest, I don't think the defense, just like a lot of other teams probably weren't showing their defenses, I don't think our defense is trying to show a lot of its looks. A lot of our 5 down lineman looks, a lot of our 3 and 4 safety looks, multiple corner looks. I think we're giving very vanilla, generic looks, not trying to give away too much in the preseason of what we're going to do offensively to teams, or defensively to teams. I think that's a big factor. I really do. I think that's something that probably not going to be touched on very much. And we're probably going to, some people are probably worried about some things on the defense, but I personally just don't think that they were showcasing a lot of things. So, what else do I want to talk about? Eric Bieniemy. The Eric Bieniemy factor is real. Eric Bieniemy and Sam Howell at the same time are converging to me. I think it's going to be a very surprising offense this year. Very surprising offense. I think defense just be top 5. If the offense can get to top 20 and the defense can get to top 5, it's a playoff team. We were like one of the worst offenses in the league last year, like 31st or something like that, or something. I think it was 31st. It might have been like 29th or something. But if we just get to top 20, like that's gonna equate to 2 more wins at least, if not more. You gotta be kidding me. I went over the schedule a couple videos ago. I'm not gonna go over it again. But looking at the schedule, we got some wins that we can get on there. We just got to make sure we just show up and be the defense we've been the last year or so, last 2 years, and be the offense that we've been seeing in preseason. Now, are other teams just not giving us good looks and not playing us hard? Maybe. It's possible. Definitely possible. But I think we're going to be a significantly better offense than we were last year, regardless of whatever it is. I think Sam Howell will get us to be like a top 20 offense. I think we're going to have a good balance to protect our young quarterback. But I do think he's going to light it up when he has to. And, yeah, it's going to be very exciting. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below about these comments. I think it's just really... The thing is, I don't want to say uneducated. Ill-informed is a better way to put it. Like, do they not understand? I'm sorry to rehash this. Do they not understand that whenever you're running quarterbacks, whenever you're running your offenses, the NFL CBA has limited you practice time. So the amount of practice time you get per day is limited. And you can only have a limited amount of time to do. That's why Eric Bieniemy is like running practices and having the amount of plays being run at such a breakneck speed is so much better because it's so much more experience. Whereas like last year you might have gotten like 50 plays off in your sets with your offense running first team and second team. This year you're getting off like 85 plays. Okay, you add up that over the course of like a month of practices, you've run almost 1,000 extra plays. That might be off. If you practice 5 days a week, 35, yeah, 1,000, maybe about 1,000, it'd be close to it, like 600, 700 more plays. And that's more reps for you. And then heck, maybe you can get more guys in to run first team reps that aren't first teamers, like Jacoby or whatever. But just saying, it just really struck me the wrong way how, like, a lot of what Ron says is so scrutinized. Like what he said about Eric Bieniemy, I didn't have an issue with what he said about Eric Bieniemy. Just being honest, like yeah, some guys said a concern. I'll go talk to him, figure out what he's all about. Now he didn't understand how that's going to be perceived, so it is what it is. But that's my video. It's only about 12 minutes. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Remember, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. It's Commander J Plank. And have a good one. And hail to the Commanders, hail to the Redskins. We hail and see you.